The New York Rangers have multiple prospects who are currently off to some phenomenal starts to begin the 2024-2025 hockey season. So in today's video, I'll be giving you an update on these players. We have one player in the OHL, one in the QMJHL, two players currently playing in the OHL, as well as an injury update to one of the New York Rangers' true top-tier prospects as well. And then finally, we'll also take a look at a player currently playing in the NCAA who is off to a really great start as well. So let's get right into it here. We've got multiple prospects to take a look at, and we'll begin with the first guy we're going to talk about in today's video, and that is Raoul Boilard, currently playing in the QMJHL, the Quebec Maritimes Junior Hockey League in Canada, and he is off to a really nice start so far to begin this season. Last season ended up putting up some pretty solid numbers, but to begin this season is off to a really great start. He is a 6'1" centerman. He is known as kind of had a decent kind of two-way game there, more of a playmaker than a kind of goal scorer, but his playmaking ability is really great. He's got some good offensive talent, decent two-way game, solid in the face-offs, and projects to possibly end up being a decent kind of two-way playmaking center possibly at the NHL level. Maybe didn't have the upside of being a true kind of top-line guy, but maybe can find his way into a kind of third-line role, being a solid two-way guy. Definitely a possibility. Obviously, he's years away from ever having a chance really to make the NHL, but definitely an interesting prospect. He's still only 18, turning 19 in January. He was born in Sherbrooke, Quebec, Canada, which is actually where Gabe Perreault was born, interestingly enough, as well. Obviously, Gabe Perreault represents Team USA, so he switched, but still same birthplace as Gabe Perreault. And Raoul, though, is a 2024 fourth-round pick, number 119 overall by the New York Rangers. He was our second draft pick of this draft, because obviously we were missing a few picks there. The first pick ended up being EJ Emery. The second one in this draft was Raoul, and he was a guy who, for a while there, was kind of projected to be a second, maybe third-round kind of pick, but ends up slipping to the fourth round, and so far is definitely looking like a pretty solid draft pick by the Rangers, as so far he does have this season 14 games played, 2 goals, 11 assists for 13 total points. Like I said, a very solid playmaker. Last season had 68 games played, 62 points, 22 goals, 40 assists. So already off to a really good start, I would say. About the same pace. They're not terribly far off, but obviously a guy who is definitely more of a playmaker. 10 assists, only 2 goals, but has the talent to possibly end up being a pretty solid contributor at the NHL level one day possibly. And next up here, we have another 2024 NHL draft pick also playing in junior in Canada, and that is from the OHL Flint Firebirds, Nathan Aspinall. He was a fifth-round pick from this draft, number 159 overall. He is a 6'7", 190-pound left winger, though. Great size there. Obviously pretty similar to guys like Dylan Rubrick, Adam Edstrom, and Matt Rempe, which we definitely know the Rangers have a liking for these very tall forwards especially, and he is another one of those guys drafted by this team who stands above 6'6", so that's really great to see another very talented prospect who, obviously can't teach that size, so getting a guy like that there is not bad at all. He's only 18, turning 19 in late March, born in Markham, Ontario, and this is a guy who, is seen as obviously a pretty solid offensive threat. This is a guy who's off to a really great start this season as well, having 12 games played, 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 total points. He's at a point-per-game pace right now, a much better start than last season where he had a total of 65 games played, 34 points, 18 goals, 16 assists. 6 goals and 6 assists to start this season is great to see, though. He can score. He can play, make a bit. He's a great net front presence as well. And this is a guy who currently does lead his team in goals as well with 6, while also being second in points as well, only 1 point back of the top point producer on his team currently. So he's off to a great start. He's a very talented prospect. And with that size, there being 6'7", he has a lot of potential there, a lot of room to grow and get better. He's definitely a raw prospect right now, has some years to go before we'll hit, even pro hockey, but definitely I got to keep an eye on going forward as well. And next up here, we have one of the New York Rangers' top prospects, Brennan Othmann, who is unfortunately going to miss the next 4 to 6 weeks, it is expected, with an upper body injury. Very unfortunate news there for one of the top prospects in this system currently, as he is also off to a really good start to this season, having 3 games played, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. He's a +2 with the Hartford Wolfpack in the AHL. And as of right now, those 5 points does have him tied for third place on the Hartford Wolfpack team in points, alongside Casey Fitzgerald. Does have 6 games played, 5 points. Othmann obviously a little bit above him, you could say, points per game wise, but unfortunately will definitely slip down these rankings as he will miss the next month and a half or so due to an injury, which really sucks for a young prospect who is really, trying to crack the NHL roster. He was a guy who had a chance to plus make the team out of camp there, didn't, got off to a good start in the AHL, but now was going to miss a while, which really just sucks to see. And now we have the other player currently playing for the Hartford Wolfpack, and that is Brett Berard, who currently is tied for the lead in points on the Wolfpack team. He's got 6 games played, 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points. He's leading the team in goals, tied for the lead in points there alongside Benoit Olivier Gordeau. So really great start there for Brett Berard. He's off to a phenomenal start, just like Othmann was, but obviously Othmann is now injured, which sucks. But Berard is also a guy who, competed for a spot at a camp there, was pretty much the last cut, honestly, you could say, in training camp as well. Ended up getting sent down to the AHL, but so far is off to a phenomenal start there. And he is also one of the, more NHL-ready prospects currently in the system, also being one of the better ones as well. So definitely got to keep an eye on there. Bit undersized at 5'9", but he is definitely a guy who plays a bit bigger than this size at moments and has some great offensive talent there and really does have a great goal-scoring ability as well. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with him and whether or not he gets a call-up at some point throughout this season, which I'd imagine he probably does at some point, I'd guess, but you never know. As of right now, though, he's definitely one of the best prospects in the system right now and definitely is off to a great start in the AHL. And then we have the final prospect to talk about in today's video, and that is Brody Lamb, who I haven't really talked much about on this channel, but this season, he has really taken a big step forward, it seems like, possibly in his development. He is a 2021 4th-round pick, number 104 overall, 6'1", right-handed shot, right winger. He's 21 years old, turning 22 in late August, so, going to be 21 for this entire season, but he's an interesting prospect there, has played the last few seasons with the University of Minnesota, but this season has finally taken a big step forward where he's off to a phenomenal start, having 6 games played, 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 total points, and he also does have a natural hat trick as well, which you're seeing in these clips against St. Thomas as well. So this is a prospect who's off to a really great start. He's a really talented offensive player, and there definitely is a chance we could see him begin his pro career next season in 2025, 2026, or he very well could end up reporting to Hartford and sign his entry-level contract. Once his season does finish with the Minnesota Golden Gophers, he could look to kind of make his pro debut at the end of this season, sometime in 2025. And as of right now, those 5 goals in 6 games played puts him second on his team, as well as right now, those 8 points puts him in 4th spot, tied alongside Jimmy Clark as well. But anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like and subscribe button for a ton more New York Rangers content. If you are a New York Rangers fan, there's no better place to be on YouTube than this channel. So with that like and subscribe button, I would really appreciate it, as well as don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on some of these prospects. Who's your favorite? Who do you think is underrated? And who do you think could make an impact the soonest? Do you think it's going to be Othmann or Berard? And the injury definitely could play a pretty big factor in that as well. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next one. See ya.